video will give you an introduction into why units matter and give you a brief overview into how to do unit conversions. This first picture is a picture of my son Evan and my son Caleb, and they at 3 and 5 already understand that units matter. For example, if I was to take them to the park and say, the park is just 5 away, they would have no idea what I was talking about and be completely confused. Do I mean 5 minutes? Do I mean 5 hours? Do I mean 5 miles? That unit gives it context, and a unit must be present in a physics problem answer, just as you would in your talking always give units with whatever number you were presenting to people. We will be almost exclusively using the metric system. I am on a rampage to try to convert all of Lakeside to the metric system, as it is far superior than the English system. For example, when you're talking about kilometers versus meters versus centimeters, they're just factors of 10 of each other. Versus when you have miles, there's 5,280 feet in a mile and 12 inches in a feet and 3 feet in a meter or in a yard. There's no continuity to it versus this metric system. Nice factors of 10 makes our lives easier. You will need to know your prefixes if you don't already. In this box below, I've given you the ones that I actually care about you knowing. Nano, micro, milli, centi, kilo, mega, giga. And then here are the corresponding factors. You'll notice that it's real simple to use the prefixes. For example, if you have 4 nanoseconds, you just replace the nano with its factor, 10 to the minus 9, and there's your number of actual seconds. 4 times 10 to the minus 9 seconds. It works very well with scientific notation. If you're going to try to write a number like this, it gets cumbersome to write, but much easier to write in scientific notation. So you'll want to make sure that you know those particular prefixes. We'll be doing unit conversions often. So for example, maybe you've been given something in inches and you want to convert it to meters. The basic idea here is that units act like algebraic quantities. So you can multiply them, you can divide them, they'll cancel out. The other piece is that you can always multiply by 1. So multiply 3 times 1, you still get 3, right? Same idea with these unit conversions. So let's start out by trying to convert 3 inches to how many centimeters? Now I know you all could go to Google and get this done quickly, but I'm going to expect you to learn how to do it the way that I'm about to present to you. So let's first start out with the fact that we know that they're in 1 inch. There are 2.54 centimeters. So if I'm trying to convert from inches to centimeters, I know I'm going to have to either multiply by 2.54 or maybe divide by 2.54. The system that I'm going to show you is sort of a safe way that if you pay attention to the units, you'll never make a mistake. So the first bit is that if I take 2.54 centimeters and I divide it by 1 inch, the quantity then is equal to 1. And again, as we said above, we can always multiply by 1. So then I have 3.0 inches. I multiply by 2.54 centimeters per inch. And what I see is that I have inches on the top and I have inches on the bottom, so those inches will cancel out, and the units that I'm left with are just centimeters. So 3 times 2.54 is, sorry about that, is 7.62 centimeters. And using the newfound significant figures that we've been talking about, I can't do a conversion and suddenly have more certainty in my answer than I did before. So I need to convert that to the correct number of significant figures. Since 3.0 has 2, my answer should have 2. And I know that there's 7.6 centimeters in 3.0 inches. Let's do one more example. I want to convert 60 miles per hour to meters per second. First, I need to know some conversion factors. There's 1,602 meters are in 1.000 miles. And there are 3,600 seconds in 1 hour, or 60 times 60 is 3,600 seconds in 1 hour. So in doing this conversion, miles per hour, I can actually do it all in one line. So first, let's look at converting the miles to meters. So if I'm trying to convert the miles to meters, I'll put a little parenthesis bracket here where I'm going to put my quantity that's equal to 1. And I need to get rid of the miles. So if I'm going to get rid of the miles and cancel out the miles must be on the bottom. So miles are on the bottom and the meters are on the top. Okay, and then I want to get rid of my hours. This time the hours are on the bottom, so to cancel out my hours, I need to have my hours on the top. So hours on the top, seconds on the bottom, and then I can look at my units across here and cancel out the units that cancel out. My miles cancel out, my hours cancel out, and I'm left with meters per second. When I multiply this out, I can just multiply 60 times 1602, all divided by 3600, and that's all meters per second, and I get 26.7 meters per second, rounded to the correct number of sig figs. Since 60.0 has 3, my answer, 26.7 meters per second, should also have 3. They'll be doing lots of practice with this all throughout the year.